Slate, sir. I did.
Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
Hey there, everybody, it's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. Speaking of friends, I got two of my friends with me, Willie Walls and the great Swame, Odell Blocker. Swame, I like the background. Looking pretty good there, pretty sharp.
Stepping my game up here, Doc.
Only Willie's got the piano and everything in the background. We got to get him another thing going on, but we'll figure that out for next week. Willie Walls, let me ask you this question. Trevor and I were talking about this the other night. Do you have to have a bring back when you're setting your lineups, or is that a thing of the past?
No, you don't have to have a bring back. I don't think so. A lot of people win the tournaments without a bring back. I mean, if you like to play and if you really like to play and you think they're going to dominate, I will go with that. You do not need a bring back.
Swami, you need a bring back?
So here's the math on it, Doc. Going from 2020 to 2024, if you look at the lineups that win, bring back is around 40%. So do you have to have a bring back? No, but it's still the highest percentage, has the highest probability. And so that back and forth is still likely. Does it win all the time? No, but I like it.
But to win the $1 million like Alicia did, she stacked that entire Seattle-Detroit game.
Well, if we all had Alicia's talent, Doc, I mean.
That's a good point. All right, good point. All right, let's get it started here. Cam Akers is the new starting running back for the Houston Texans. Joe Mixon is out. Dameon Pierce is out. Swami, DraftKings, not FanDuel, DraftKings. Is he a must start at 4,700?
I'm not mad at anybody who says he's a must start this week. That 47 and that 4,000 on both sites, I think is very, very, very tempting. I don't even have any opposition. I can't give you an argument to not play him this week. Other than I think that, again, Minnesota, like we said last week, is still probably pretty tough. And I don't know if Houston runs the ball as well or be consistent running the ball as San Francisco was to get Mason there. So for that reason, I'm on a little bit on the fence, but I'll give you a definitive answer. And I'll say I think he's a play, but I want to find ways to get off on him between now and Sunday.
Willie, DraftKings, is he a play? FanDuel, is he a play?
He's a lock on FanDuel because he allows me to get other people in there that I can't get at $4,000. Because on FanDuel I will have Rice will be locked in on the FanDuel slate out and probably Pitts, at tight end. So those two going against each other at the late night hammer. So, but he's a lock button on FanDuel. On DraftKings, it's 50-50. I'm going to have some, but most of them I might play him about 40% of the lineups. He's on a lock, and the other people I got other players that I like. I just like a more balanced build for DraftKings.
So I run 3 lineups on both sides. I will run him on all 3 on FanDuel because it's just a free square. I mean, I can't pass it up, right? At 4,000, I can't pass it up. On DraftKings, I will put him on 1 lineup, not 3, 1, because I feel like I need to have him. But the other 2, I'm fully fading. All right, guys, this is a strange week because there's a lot of crappy games, right? There's a lot of really junk games that I don't think I want any part of. The Giants and Browns, Chargers and Steelers. So maybe there's a play here and there, but I want to focus today on the games that I think people are going to play. I want to focus on whether we're playing them too. So let's start with the Eagles and Saints. Willie, this is a big game here. Eagles and Saints, whether you want to stack it with Eagles, whether you want to stack it with Saints, you want to do a leverage play with Saquon. There's a lot of ways to go here. How are you playing it?
Listen, they are all plays. I mean, Devontae Smith is a play. You saw what he does without Brown. I mean, he gets a lot of the targets. I mean, Kamara is a play. Now I'm going to have some of it. So I'm gonna switch it up. I mean, probably my favorite play is the GP play in this game is Olave. Everybody's going to be playing Shaheed, but the GPP play is Olave. But the thing you do like about Shaheed now this year, they use him in sweeps. They do a lot of the difference is they do a lot of play action. They do a lot of people going in motion. They didn't do that before. Now they do them. This Kubiak, is a very adept coordinator. So I like what he's doing with the offense. I think the guys are playing on both sides now. Barkley, to be different, you could play a Barkley, by paying up and running back. It'll make your lineups totally different, because most people are going to do what? Play Kamara because of a recent buy. And Derek Carr's the play. You got to remember, Derek Carr has only got 14 dropbacks in the second half because it's been a complete blowout. But this will be the type of game that if you stack it, and if they go off, it could be one thing that could be a high number in this game. So I think you could go different ways in this game. I mean, I do like the game. I do like the play. So I'm going to have some of it. I'm going to have some of this game. I definitely will have some of this game.
Swame, Willie said a lot of things I agree with here. The problem is I feel like this is a dartboard that's moving, right? It's moving around. And I'd need to have 10 lineups just to get this game right. Do you put Hurts with his receivers? Do you put Carr with his? Do you get Goddard in there? There's so many ways to go that I feel like I could be wrong. It's not condensed. How are you playing this game?
I like the game. And I'll say this, Doc, that you're absolutely right. Like you said, you play 3 lineups, Willie plays 10. And if you got my luck, you'll always get Willie's 3 worst lineups. He'll tell you why you got his worst lineups. And after 10 years, I've had enough of those. Anyway, Doc, I like it a lot for a couple of reasons. One, I think the Saints are playing, out of their minds right now, and I think they're going to keep it going. I think they got something good going, and sometimes you need momentum, and you need when a team gets hot and they're kind of clicking and they start really kind of buying in and believing in each other. It's just a good situation. I wouldn't go away from Shaheed, even though we know he's making the most out of his opportunities. He's only getting about 4 balls, except, that one is likely going to the house. So for that reason, at his price, he's still in play. And Olave, who's probably, everybody's thinking that, eventually they're going to go to him and he's going to get, double-digit targets. And it's likely, but right now, I just like what Shaheed is doing. I like what Kamara is doing. I don't think there's any reason for them to change it this week. I don't think Green Bay showed us, and so did Atlanta showed us that you can throw the ball against Philly. And so I think they'll continue to throw it again this week. I like it. And Doc, and I'm also not mad at Philly. I think Ertz has played well against them when he's played the Saints. I think this week they're going to
got it. No words. Ertz plays for Commanders.
I'm not talking about the tight end.
He said Hurts, not Ertz.
Oh, I thought you said Ertz.
You've heard of him, the dude that throws the ball?
Oh, yeah, okay.
I know he's got a Boost Mobile connection over there, so I'll forget from. That's why I started laughing. It's okay. It's like that old Living Color pickle. Who need a pickle? Pick it up. Anyway, but I think Ertz is in. The Eagles upset. They let one go last week. I thought they played extremely goofy and let a game get away. I think they're going to be a little bit more focused this week. Still without A.J. Brown, I don't have them favorite, but I think they're going to play a little bit better this week, and they're going to try to give the Saints a go. And so for that reason, I like it. If you ask who specifically, I would probably say obviously Devonta Smith and likely Barkley.
I think I'm just going to do one-offs in this game. I originally thought I was going to stack it, and I still think that the Philly stack might be interesting because I don't think people are going to play it. Maybe like a Hurts with a Devonta and a Goddard and bring it on back with an Olave. But I just feel like I'm going to be wrong, and I'd rather be with games that are more condensed. So let's go to another game that's pretty condensed. Swami, it's your Ravens against the Cowboys. Here's what we learned last week. Cowboys defense is wretched. Lamar has done nothing thus far. Nothing. Derrick Henry's been minor good. Zay Flowers is worth playing, but he never has that 30-point game that you need to take down a tournament. Do you like this game? Are you playing it?
Doc, you said the Ravens have the worst, possibly the worst coaching situation in NFL history. It's a very interesting question, Doc, and I'm glad you asked it. Here's what I'll say. I'll say that as a Ravens fan, it's very difficult watching them play down the competition every week and seemingly not get anything going. And I'm talking about from a play calling perspective. We haven't talked about it, but we've been watching film. Willie knows what I'm talking about. I mean, the way that the Vikings have coached up Sam Darnold and the way that they have kind of simplified the game for him and the way that he's playing right now shows you what can happen with coaching. Obviously, and then when you got somebody like, Kyler Murray and the way that they're kind of playing, when you put some pieces around him, it shows you that how quickly we can jump off the bandwagon and jump on the bandwagon. But consistently, the Ravens make it very difficult to kind of get behind them from a fantasy perspective. When we think they should run, they're not running. When we think they're going to throw and spread it around, they find a way to go 3 and out. It's very difficult to put them in a lineup. With that being said, I think Andrews, with that new price of his, is very interesting on DraftKings. I think I could get behind that. I think Lamar, because of the running, he could be considered a man of interest, but I don't want no parts of it because of what him and Harbaugh has been doing. They are looking to make like history as far as being due. And then on the other side of the ball, I think the Cowboys can probably get it going. I know that one game where your defense struggle doesn't mean that you're just totally, garbage, but it does mean they had a tough week. I think they're going to look to bounce back, and I think that this will be a good game for CeeDee Lamb, Dak to maybe bounce back.
Willie, it's hard to get away from Lamar Jackson needing to run the ball, right? He has not really done that this year. The Ravens have not looked great. Is this a Lamar week? If it is, could you go Lamar and Henry together? Because Dallas didn't look like they could stop anybody.
Well, but I think it's just certain matchups because the Saints, when you looked at it, when you peeled the onion, there was a difficult matchup, and I didn't see that coming. So it's like I'm going to tell another game that I saw that opened my eyes. Listen, I think Lamb is very interesting to me. This is going to be my pay-up guy because Dallas struggled against number one receivers. I mean, you saw that in the first game. You saw that in the first game. Baltimore, yeah. You saw that in the first game, with Rice. 7 for 9, 103. You didn't get a tutty, but then you saw it in the second game with Adams, with the doo-doo Raiders. And what I'm saying is what Dallas does well is they throw the ball, and ever since that coordinator left, the defensive coordinator, man, I don't know, this coordinator, he had a little magic in what he did, but man, the Ravens have not been that team that I'm normally seeing. So I think I agree with Swame. I think Dak and Lamb is a viable combination in this game, but I also think that on the other side, I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to take a shot with Lamar. I might play Lamar Leckett, but I just think that Lamar can do something. And I might play Lamar Lamb. Going.
I like that.
What I mean? But I think Lamar is very interested in this game. And I think, I know Dallas, and I think because they're going to flush him, with pressure, I think this guy's going to be able to get out the pocket. I think he might rush for 60 to 80 yards in this game. And I think he's going to throw for a couple of touchdowns. So I like Lamar a lot in this game.
All right. I want to take a look at the Texans and Minnesota. We touched on it with Cam Akers. One way to get instantaneous leverage is CJ Stroud with a couple of receivers. Instant leverage. Another way to get leverage is to basically say that the Vikings, Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson are going to have a big week, because if they have a big week, Houston's going to have to throw and not run so much. So there's ways to get around Cam Akers, Swame. Is this a game that can explode, or do you think Brian Flores' defense will fluster CJ Stroud?
Doc, it's like you can read my mind. It's one of those games where I could easily see the game being a little bit of a track meet, but I could just as easily see the defenses kind of holding them a little bit, maybe slowing these offenses down, and this becoming one of those games that go under. And so that's my concern with having too much in it. I'm definitely interested in Mr. Collins I think Walls, early in the season, we talked about it. I was kind of favoring, Dell. We talked about Diggs. Walls was all over Collins. I think he was right. Much as I hate to say it, Doc Collins is emerging in that offense. He's becoming the go-to guy. And so I'm going to ride that hot hand. I know every week for the next couple of weeks, everybody's going to say, I'm going to jump on the other guy. But for week 3, I'm not going to be that guy, Doc. I'm going to be the riding the white horse.
Willie, how are you playing this game? Are you playing it at all?
Well, listen, I agree, but I just like other spots better. Because both of these defenses are leading in turnovers. They're both turning them over. They're both turning the ball over. They turn the guys over. So I think at the price points that they have for that's what's going to make me, besides Akers, I'm looking at the prices. I just think I respect the defenses because I'm going to tell you, this Minnesota defense has been balling, man. They've been playing some good ball. Anytime you play San Francisco like that, and CJ Stroud he's just good. I mean, you can just tell that this guy is good, but I just think that he won't have that big, this game scares me because this will be the game that will go off and then you be like, damn, but it's just going to have to beat me this time. I'm just going to too much of the defense.
Are up. But I think both teams, specifically both quarterbacks and the way that they're calling the games, they're playing to their strengths. They're doing the things that's working well for them, and they're dictating to the defenses. And I think for that reason, there's going to be some plays to be had. That's why you saw Justin Jefferson get that huge touchdown. That's why you see all of these big plays coming out of Houston offense. And I think both defenses are going to be challenged to shut them down. But, to Willie's point, the hitting value is probably more of a concern than if it's just going to completely be no points.
All right, there are a lot of other 1 o'clock games that are very lower scoring, so I'm going to run through them pretty quickly. Tell me if there's anything in these games that you're interested in. Giants, Browns, Willie, anything for you there?
Pass.
Swami?
I might have an outs. I might have. Judy seems like the one that makes sense, but Coop, I think, at some point got something.
Maybe if you want, I'll say one thing. If you want to get off of Akers, the guy a team that's favorite is the Devontae Foreman at 4,400. He got 14 carries the last game.
He doesn't catch. He doesn't catch passes.
I'm just saying. If you wanted to go off of Akers, just think about it. 14 carries, a guy that's favorite. Not a play, but I'm just saying if we're going to sneak around and looking for somebody to sneak.
Who does he play for?
Plays for Cleveland.
Oh, thank you. I needed to know.
I think the one guy who's interesting is Neighbors, because in man coverage. But I don't trust Daniel.
No, thank you against Cleveland.
What about the Chargers Steelers? Justin Herbert is questionable, highly questionable.
Who's highly questionable, Doc? You said
Justin Herbert.
Oh, Herbert. If Herbert is out, then both defenses are in play, and I would probably take the Steelers than defense at home.
This game is going to be ugly game. All right, let me throw a couple more at you here. Packers, Titans. Is this a Tony Pollard week? Packers run defense wretched. On the other side, I think a lot of people think this is going to be a Josh Jacobs week, but the Titans run defense is pretty good. Do you agree with that, Willie?
If I had interest, it's more on Pollard because remember, Spears is hurt. He's still hampered by that ankle, and he has played over 70%. And that's what the Cowboys are missing. Mr. Pollard over that piece of trash that they got in the backfield now. So I'm just telling you, I think Pollard is a man of interest in this game. I think he's a man of interest at his price point, and I think he's played 70% of the snaps so far. So and with Spears limited, they're definitely listen. You saw what Jonathan Taylor did, and just limited carries in 12 yards. I mean, they're giving up 5 yards per pop. So he is a man of interest. I mean, I do like Jacobs, but I just can't with the prices of the other backs. I can't get to him this week.
Swami, what's your thoughts on this game?
I can see why you would have some interest there. Obviously, sometimes the quarterbacks just don't hurt the receivers. Sometimes it hurts the running game. And I'm not sure if either quarterback is playing well enough for me to want to take a flyer in this one. But I will say that Jacobs getting 32 carries. Anytime somebody's getting that many touches, I'm interested.
All right, I'm going to 2 more games at this early spot. 1, do not laugh. You're not allowed to laugh at me. But I think that Bo Nix, a naked Bo Nix, is in play this week. Yes, Swami, you can take off your glasses. Camera 2's on me now. Listen, you can't run on Tampa. You cannot run on Tampa. But if they throw the ball, we will throw the and the Bucs defense is so chalky. I'm just giving you a leverage play. I'm giving you a leverage play for 5,100. If Bo Nix goes for 20 points, I'm telling you, you could take down a tournament. Because if I just throw this out, just hear me out now. America, listen up. You go Bo Nix and you go Cam Akers, and you're under 10,000, and then you can spend it up elsewhere. You got a shot. You may think I'm nuts. I'll move on because I know you hate this game.
I mean, hold on now. I think Mr. Dalton's in play this week. Is that accurate?
I didn't even get there yet.
Well, but if I'm taking
I didn't get there yet.
That's 4 o'clock.
He's in play. He's in play. He's in play.
How do I want to take a chance with the 2 interceptions in the
Andy Dalton is in play. 4,800. He's in play.
But it's the turnovers for me with Bo. And right now he's turned the ball over. He hasn't thrown a touchdown pass yet.
But he runs, Swami. Andy Dalton can't run 1 yard. Bo Nix could get 40 yards rushing. I'm just throwing it out there. Could. All right.
I'd rather play Bo Jackson.
I'd rather play Bo Jackson too. All right. What about Chicago and Indianapolis, Willie? I can't watch Anthony Richardson 1 more second. The Bears are a tough team to play because they let you get field goals, but they don't let you score touchdowns. On the other side, DJ Moore is in play. DeAndre Swift may be in play, but Caleb Williams, not good. Talk to me.
Pass. I am not pass. I can't picture. Listen, that Bears defense is tough. I'm gonna tell you it's a shame that that defense has been balling since week 7 or 8 of last year. So I can't. I no thank you. I'm just gonna pass on this game. I'll let y'all beat. Y'all can have whoever y'all want to have in this game. No, thank you. I damn sure ain't playing Richardson. Hell no, not against that Bears defense. No,
Swami, what about DeAndre Swift? He is screaming him from off the mountaintops.
Hey, no, he might as well jump. I can't take these guys in this game. No, I know I said we gonna wait and see on Caleb Williams when you mentioned him a few weeks ago. Well, guess what, Doc? We didn't wait it, but we didn't see nothing.
I told you he's terrible.
Pass.
Now, Pete does say something interesting. DeForest Buckner is out. He's out.
Yeah, that's true. And when he's out, people average 5.1 yards per carry compared to 3.9 when he's in. So that damn, but I can't, man. Their offensive line looks sucky. Swift looks slow. I don't know, man. It's hard to do it.
What will hurt a running game more than anything else is not being able to throw the ball. I promise you, it's very difficult to run an NFL when you can.
That's true. Caleb Williams, look, I told you this before the season. I shouted it on SiriusXM. I put it here. Caleb Williams does not study enough film. He's walking away from CJ Stroud. He does not want to get better. I'm so done with that guy. All right, let's take a look at the late game. Swami, you mentioned the Panthers and the Raiders. Andy Dalton at the super cheap. If Andy Dalton throws for 200 yards and 240 yards and a touchdown, we just gave you 16 points. He 4x'd. Could you win a tournament with that, Swami?
I think you can win a tournament with Andy Dalton. I think the last time when he came in, I'm looking at it right here, I think he had 26 fantasy points when he came in week 3 of last year. I think he can do something very similar. I think one of his guys then was Thielen. He's got a new weapon, or actually a couple of new weapons in Johnson and Leggett. And so I think he's got a lot of pieces. I think he can make the offense go. I like the Raiders. I think they do have a pass rush, but I think if they play a little bit smarter with Dalton in there, and they can, I think the game could have a little bit of tempo, and we could probably see them doing a little something. They on the road, they won't be affected by weather. There's a lot to like here, and I think it's a good chance based on the kind of upside that we know you can get from, say, him and two of those receivers. I like it at that price.
Willie, for the Raiders, Brock Bowers is going to be highly rostered. But this is a big Devontae Adams game, and Zamir White has done nothing for 2 weeks. If he can't get it here this week, maybe there's no hope for this dude. What's your thoughts on this game?
I think that I like the Raiders' defense. I really do. That offensive line still sucks ass. Okay, they do. They suck ass. Now I know Dalton is worth a shot. I get it, but man, what's that dude now? What's that dude? That defensive lineman that played for the Raiders that just wreck everything?
Max Crosby?
Oh my goodness! I think he's gonna have 3 sacks. You know, I like, and they playing at the Raiders' place. I'm just saying, I get it. Well, Andy Dalton, he's worth a shot at 4,800. But I'm just saying, you know what the Raiders like to do? They like to slow everything down. The Raiders, if they got their choice, if they're winning, they want to just slow this game out. And the guy, I will have a little interest in Zamir. If he can't get it done this game, he is ass cheeks. Just don't play him ever again. Because if you can't get it going in this game, you can't get it going. But Adams is in play. But like I said, I don't think this game is going to be as high scoring as people do. I think if the Raiders get the lead, they're just going to hold that ball, man. So therefore, you know, I'm gonna have a little Dalton, but I just think you got other guys in other situations that could be a better play.
Then Doc, what I just heard is he gotta love Zamir White, unless he think about holding.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying nothing about Zamir White. Zamir
White is in play on FanDuel. He's in play on FanDuel
this week, so Swame. He can't do it.
But how are they holding the ball if he's not running or getting?
No. I'm not saying. I said Zamir White is in play. Okay. I said that. If he can't do it this week, he can't do it. You understand what I'm saying?
Balls to the walls. He will do it this week, Doc. I don't know what I set him up for an alley-oop, and he doggone.
No. I'm not. Listen, I like it, man, but man, you know, man, they like to give it to this other guy sometimes too, man. Even though he had 12 touches to his 4 touches, so he's in play. But let me ask you something. Zamir is 5,500. Do you want to play Mr. Mason or Zamir, sir?
Well, that's the problem. It's true. But Zamir is in play on FanDuel because it's touchdown dependent. What if he gets 2 touchdowns this week?
Right.
Both.
And if was a fifth.
And tell Dana I find a way to get him into a parlay.
There you go. That's smart. See, that's the thing. When you have a play that you like, go bet it.
Exactly.
That's a smart way to do it.
Well, if he don't get a touchdown, like I said, man, I ain't gonna say nothing. But he's too close to Mason. That's why he's not a lock for me.
He's close to Cheeks if he doesn't get a touchdown. All right. Dolphins are playing Seattle. In the early optimizers that I'm seeing, Geno Smith, JSN, Charbonnet, they were popping a little bit, guys. I know that sounds crazy. Tyreek Hill is going to be literally 1% rostered. 1% on Tyreek Hill. And Achan is the man. There's a lot to like here, Willie Walls. I think people may be sleeping on this game. Thoughts?
My thoughts is, I definitely listen. A-Chain is almost a lock for me. DraftKings, listen, that usage that he gets, you could run the ball on Seattle. So, and what I mean, and he's going to get probably 10 targets in pass catching. You know what I mean? And this dude good ball. I mean, you know, if you could do something against the Bills, because the Bills defense is not bad this year, not bad at all. And they played him even though the game was out of reach with like 4 or 5 minutes left. So I like A-Chain is one of my favorite plays on the slate, period. But I also think that Charbonnet is very interesting to me. You know, if I'm going to play a receiver, it definitely would be you had 16 targets. But what I'm scared of, Doc, in this game is if Seattle gets the lead, you know, they're gonna try to pound the rock against them. So A-Chain is my guy.
Are they going to pound the rock with Charbonnet?
Well, Charbonnet, their defense, their offensive line is a little cheeks. So they are
cheeks.
Yeah.
So I think the guy that we're all missing is Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is going to be 1% rostered on a quarterback that can't throw the ball more than 10 yards downfield.
The only reason it's a play is because Scholar is terrified right now. The way he looked, and it was a small sample size, and I read this in the Zen Master article on drroto.com. And it said that guy was so bad that he has to be better this week because he can't be as bad or even worse than he was in that little time he was in there. They had at least an extended practice because they had the Thursday game, so he had plenty of time to work on it. He does a couple things well that I just want to point out. First, he scrambles, and he loves to throw deep. So, Willie, I know you've already poo-pooed all over him, but he is an interesting GPP shot because of both his price, and he's still got the same weapons. If you like.
You know what? Okay, listen, let me say this. What's his price?
I'm checking right now. He's 5,100, same as my man Bo Nix.
Forget Bill Nix because these guys got weapons, right here. So
weapons.
So you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I will like him more over Andy Dalton. I'm gonna say
he can run because he can run.
Yeah, I'm gonna like him more. And this is the thing I did not look at. They got a week to practice. Everybody's not on them.
Plus,
yeah. So. Yeah,
Would you do a Skylar Thompson, Willie? Just hear me out. Skylar, Achan, Tyreek, bring it back with a Charbonnet or JSN?
Listen.
I would need JSN.
I'm glad. That's why I'm glad we talking through it because I'm definitely listening. This I'm gonna have some interest, man. And
Swame, let me explain the JSN. My Seattle pushes everything to the middle, and that's where JSN thrives, right? So it's not a Metcalf Lockett game. This is a JSN game.
Yeah, Listen, JSN got 16 targets the last game. Listen, remember we said it was going to be a breakout anyway of JSN. It didn't manifest in the first game, but it showed itself. And this could be a sneaky where people not looking because I'm gonna tell you about the other game. Why I think it's more of a mismatch than people think, but we'll talk about when we get to it.
But danger has inspired me. I'm taking JSN as one of those parlay plays this week. I'll give you the other two when we get to it.
All right, then. All right, a couple more games that we're going to cover here. We're going to cover, we talked about the Ravens-Cowboys, so we've got three more games I want to hit, and then we'll do our stuff. Lions-Cardinals, guys. This game is, oh, by the way, Danger reaches out to you here, Swami. He's inspiring everybody. JSN is inspiring us. All right. You can't run on the Lions. Can you throw on the Lions? If you can throw on the Lions, is this a Kyler Murray, Trey McBride week? At the same point, we know the Lions don't do well on the road, but Arizona, they played the Rams, who were disgusting last week. The Lions are not the Rams. This could be a Jahmyr Gibbs week. This could be a David Montgomery week. Swami, there is a lot to like in this game, and I feel if you don't have a couple of pieces, you're going to lose.
I gotta like this game, Doc. Vegas likes this game, as you already know, right? A lot. I think this is the highest projected total on the slate. But you gotta like the way that Murray's playing. You gotta like the way that they're using all of their weapons. They got McBride involved last week, even though he kind of picked up a touchdown that Connor left on the carpet for me. Thanks, Mr. Connor. And again, they're using Connor. They started to get it going with Harrison. So I like what they're doing. I think they're going to keep it going at home again this week. And I think that Detroit is going to have to finally get it going because even though nobody's really talked about it, but they kind of stumbled out the gates here a little bit. They didn't get St. Brown going first. Obviously, Williams is playing well. And I think that combination of Gibbs and Montgomery is working. But, I mean, Goff hasn't really had a big game. I think this is his big game. I think this is going to have some fantasy goodness.
Who's going to have a big game?
Goff. I think I like this game. I think Goff. Yeah, Jared Goff. I think he's gonna. I don't know what you heard. What you heard? Moth, sloth.
No. I thought
Damn. And so for that reason, Doc, I think I'm interested.
You said cup.
And maybe a stack. I think you could go with a full stack or double stack from either quarterback and bring it back. If y'all don't like to bring it back like I do, but again, you could give it to me either way. Give me Goff, give me St. Brown, and bring it back with McBride. I think it's a good stack in this game. I like it a lot.
You like this game, Willie?
I don't. I like parts of it. I'm gonna tell you the reason why. I think that defensive line against that offensive line.
Which one?
I think it's gonna be some trouble.
Which one?
The Lions' offensive line versus the Cardinals' bad defensive line.
Yes. And I don't think, like, all that fun time that Mr. Murray had last week because we played him and we was on him late. I don't think it's going to be that way when it going against Detroit. I think it's going to be different. The guys that you look at is I like the middle of the road guys. I agree with Swame with McBride. He's in play. That's how you got to beat him. Throwing those little short. You got to throw a little. You cannot go deep like you went against these guys. You saw what happened with Godwin, right? You're going to have to beat them in the middle. You got to beat them you got to beat Detroit in the middle of the field. You're not going to beat them deep. So you saw last week. Harrison Jr. was a great play last week that people weren't expecting. You saw what Detroit is decent against the outside receivers. You saw what happened with Evans last week. You know what I mean? Evans wasn't. It was Godwin. So I'm looking more of it's a McBride game.
Dortch, is it a Dortch game?
And I think Dortch is a man of interest that nobody will look at. I think the middle of the field, that's what Dortch does well. I think that's where you're going to get it. I don't think so. I am not going to be on Harrison this week. I'm not going to have Harrison. I think it's going to be on the other side. And I don't think and I think Detroit's going to try to pound that rock. Because let me tell you something. I love James Conner. Swami and I have been playing James Conner all year long. Not this time. Not only no, but hell no. James Conner will not be in one lineup because Detroit has not given over 60 yards in about 16 games, 70 yards. They shut down the run. The run game is night. With that offensive line, I think the offensive line and the defensive line is a bad matchup for Arizona.
All right, let me give you another game here. The 49ers against the Rams. Are Mason and Ayuk slam dunks? Are they must plays? Because you've got to think that they seem like must plays. And on the other side, there's a lot of value with Rams receivers. So it's like, who's the right guy? Is it Robinson? Is it Whittington? Is it Atwell? It's about finding the right guy. Swami, so first question, are you playing Mason and are you playing Ayuk? And are you playing any Ram receiver? And if so, who?
I like Mason a lot. I think they're going to lean on him more, especially with Kittle out. So I think he's the person I'm putting on 25-plus touches, so I'm going to take him. If I had to take anybody else, obviously it would be Ayuk, but I'm just not high on the rest of the game. I don't like the Rams side of it. I don't like how he looked without Puka and
woo! Woo!
Doc, he looked like Willie back there. I don't like it.
The Rams offensive line couldn't. I mean, look, can we agree that the Cardinals defensive line may be the worst in football? And they were getting to Stafford. What are the 49ers going to do?
Yeah. So I don't like the Rams side of it, Doc. Even if y'all help me hostage and make me take one of them, I might tell you Atwell, but that would be again against my will.
Willie, what you doing here? Mason, yes. Ayuk, yes, or just Mason?
Mason, yes. And the guy I like a lot that people are not talking about is Juwan Jennings. I like him in this matchup. The reason being is because Kittle is out. Kittle's going to be out of this game. He'll be that type of guy that's going to be doing those intermediate routes. And I think Jennings is very interesting at his price point. So I love Jennings, so I think Juwan Jennings. Mason is a lock. Okay, and I'm going to have a little bit of Ayuk, but I'm just saying that Jennings is a man of interest.
Let me ask you a question about Ayuk here, guys. Is this game an explosive game, or is this game like 31-7? And if it's 31-7, is Mason getting 2 touchdowns and then 2 touchdowns? Right. I don't know, a defensive touchdown. Right. Is Ayuk going 6 for 50 and not doing anything for my lineup?
See, I think that. Listen, that Rams offensive line is horrible. They're horrible, and I just think San Francisco is going to eat them up. And like I said, Mason's a lot, but that's why I like Juwan Jennings. He's 4,100.
This is a Mason, 27 carries, maybe 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. This is Ayuk, seven balls for 70. Jennings 5 balls for 60. 2 other guys getting in there. Somebody else in the back.
So if it's 7 for 70, Swame, with a touchdown, let's give him a touchdown. That's 20 points. Do I need the ownership with 20 points?
Doc, ownership not really the game that I play. I'm more looking at trying to get the best guy in there. I don't mind the ownership, but like I always tell Willie, it's too hard for me to get the best guys in there to then try to tell myself that because Willie got him, I don't want him. But in this
I'd rather have Olave and save the money.
Hey, but I'm gonna tell you another guy that I forgot to tell you that I like a lot for Detroit. Man, he's had 20 targets in the
Jameson Williams.
Yes, sir. I like Jameson Williams. They are using him differently this year. And what I'm saying to you is 20 targets, and he will be a pivot off of Shaheed for New Orleans.
So the 2 other plays in Swame's parlay this week, inspired by danger. The running back, that is JSN, Shaheed, and Jameson Williams.
Look at that. All right, let's talk about that Sunday night game, which you can use on FanDuel. A lot of people don't like that game. I like that late game hammer. Swame, Willie, Rashee Rice against a zone defense. Woo! Yes, please.
Yes.
Against the worst team against tight
Rice is a lock button.
Lock button. Willie, is Carson Steele interesting in this one?
Atlanta, even with Barkley, he didn't kill him. You know what I mean? So Carson Steele, we don't know. If you want to get off of, I'm not gonna have much of him because I'm gonna play Akers. I'm going to play Akers, and I'm a lock Mason in, even on FanDuel. He's a lock button on FanDuel too, even though he's 8,400. Hope people get off of him. So I'm still because I'm just not gonna get the steal.
Swame, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Xavier Worthy, anybody else in this game? Because I mean it's Rice and Pitts all day for me, all day.
I'm not mad at Rice and Pitts for the obvious reasons. Pitts does still concern me. I know they got him involved kind of late in that game, but I like to see him involved a little bit early. But I tell Walls this all the time, and I say occasionally you can kind of guess and get the right answer. And then what I mean by that is Walls love playing late. He don't care who it is. He'll find a reason to fall in love with the late game. And I always say, if you consistently avoid the correct steps, that you're more likely to end up with the incorrect answer. The right step is to put in the best play, not to find who's the best play going late. But anyway, in this case, Doc, we just so happen to got a couple of great plays going late. I just want to put it out there because every week, Willie is going to love whoever's going late. It
don't matter. But Rice, this matchup is suited for Rice.
Well, look, a lot of people late swap, Swami. You got to sit there and you got to figure out where to go. You're trying to take down tournaments. That's what people do.
You're right. It is a strategy, and it's an effective strategy. I agree. I just know that Willie leans heavy late. He'll always poo-poo everything at 1 o'clock, and suddenly you'll see him light up like he do right now. He'll be lit up every week for whoever's going.
But Swami, to my point, a lot of people because they don't like to do that late stuff. But we're gonna have a high scores there. And then that little late slate going just like with the Jameson Williams and that.
Let me ask you questions. If I thought Steele was going to get even half of the touches that Pachenko would get, I say sure. But I don't know between him and Perrine how they're going to do that.
Yeah.
I think
Keyron's in there on passing downs. I think Steele is there on first down and goal line situations.
He better not fumble.
Yeah, I know. Until he does something, he won't be P-Rod. He's going to be Perrine. And then Mr. P. But Doc, here's what I think we ought to look at. We ought to look at some point, they got to resuscitate Travis Kelce and bring him back to life. I know we're not talking about it this week. We're not missing from saying at some point, and then nobody's still talking about London or any of the receivers over there in Atlanta. They're going to have to do something as well and be involved in this game as they're going to have to throw. And Kirk Cousins, he might be the guy to get him going this week.
It could be. All right, Willie, you got $100 for your favorite stack. Who is it?
Oh, my favorite stack. Oh man, I
He
thought,
didn't
ooh.
say snack. He said stack.
Favorite stack, man.
Rascal.
Oh man, it's so many that you could go here and there, but I tell you what, You know what? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what the GP. You know, y'all kind of got me going at the end when I wasn't even thinking about it. So give me that Thompson.
You're not playing that.
I am.
You're not playing that.
With $100.
What?
With
All right, good. You put $100 on that stack, and then you send me the proof.
Why this is a GPP
Take a
play?
picture and send me the proof.
He said $100. Don't make
No.
rules, not yours.
I tell you what. I tell you what. My favorite stack is going to be the Ravens quarterback.
Sorry, I fell asleep there for a second.
It's going. And what a lot of people are not going to do is going to be Lamb on one side.
Yeah.
So Lamar and Lamb.
That's my favorite stack.
All right. Whew, took a while there to get that, Swame. What about you?
God damn. All right, now I think this week, like I said, I'm gonna give you two. The first one I'm gonna give you is gonna be Carr. I think he's got it going. Those 40 points, 2 straight weeks. Nothing says they won't keep it going again. And I'm not gonna go with that conventional Wall's wisdom of Olave. I'm gonna stay with Shaheed for right now and his price point. And I'm gonna take Kamara because I like how he's playing and how they got him going. And I'm gonna bring it back with Devonta Smith. But just because I know we got some risk takers out there, I got one more for you, Doc. And I think this week, and I don't know about fresh Benjamin, but I'm very interested in doing something crazy with the Carolina Panthers. The Red Rocket is for some reason I did this. I'm telling you, week 3. And I'm tempted to go back to him. And I think that him feeling you could probably, put White in there and get out of there. And I don't want to use Willie's word cheap, but you get out there with a really affordable stack and make
You said Thielen and who else?
Zamir White,
oh.
Red Rocket.
I got to say, Willie, I'm going to give you credit. I think I've changed my mind about the way I want to approach stacks this week because I think I could be very wrong. But I like what you said, Lamar with Lamb. I like a Hurts and Olave. I like a Dalton and Devontae because that actually works, right? If Dalton's playing well and they're doing something, then maybe it's Devontae that's doing something and not Zamir. Right. So yeah. I'm trying to put the thinking in how can it reach where I need it to reach to get there?
Because I just think it's going to be it might be one of those things we hit all the nuts in it. Because Devontae, he's going to get the rock. That. So.
And the other way works too, Doc. If the Raiders get up early and then Carolina doesn't get it going until maybe later in the first half, and then going playing late, just try to get something going out of their offense going late. And then Dalton can still get us something if Zamir is the guy. So both of them work.
They do. And the other one I kind of like a little bit is Geno and a Chan. Just those two. Right? If Seattle's going to win, is it through the air? And I get a Chan who I want to have in every lineup. So I'm going to play around with a bunch of that.
Less because he doesn't run. And those are the first guys you mentioned run and the tush push. I know Dalton doesn't, but I think I like them other two a little bit better than Geno.
I agree with that. I agree. All right, Willie. Balls to the walls call from Willie Walls. Who is it?
Jawan Jennings. Jawan Jennings of San Francisco. I like Jawan Jennings. I do.
Swami
says every week, Doc, he's going to take whatever value play he got and call that a balls to the wall. That people been talking about Jawan Jennings all day, all doggone week.
Hey, listen, I could go into, I like Jameson Williams, okay? But that's not a balls to the wall call. We got to get somebody that's a value because everybody's going with Ayuk. Everybody's going with Ayuk. But if this dude gets 8 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown at 4,100, you could take something down. That's the same thing as playing Zamir White.
Doc, I'm going to give you 2 balls to the walls calls.
Go ahead.
Real balls to the walls calls.
And Jordan Whittington. of the Rams.
Yes, I like Whittington too. Whittington's interesting.
Now he's trying to get his balls to the walls juices going. Finally, but anyway,
come on, Swami, give me the picks already.
So I'm going to go with the play that I said earlier. I think Zamir White, but that's kind of a little chalky, even though a lot of people don't like it. I think he's going to be a lot better this week, and I think.
Go ahead. As I go on a chalkboard.
So I think the guy I'm gonna say is my Swami says pick of this week. I don't want to say Judy because again I think it's too easy. I'm gonna go with Tutu Atwell.
All right. My visionary picks of the week. I'm gonna give you 3. 2 are gonna be quarterbacks: Bo Nix and Skylar Thompson going El Cheapo. Remember one thing, Swami. Do you remember a couple of years ago I said, "Can you win with Joe Flacco?" And he took down the $1 million that week.
Oh, we
Just
both
saying.
on Flacco.
That was 2 years. That was when he was with the Jets. Not even last year.
Well, my Flacco hate is well documented, Doc. But this Knicks stuff is different. That's not
just. And Greg Dortch. Greg Dortch is going to make a play this week. Greg Dortch is.
I like Greg Dortch.
Yeah.
Greg Dortch is making a play.
Kind of chalky, but yeah.
All right. Hey, Bo Nix is not chalky.
No, Bo Nix is just crazy.
Thank you.
That's crazy, man.
It's just wild. All right. We wish you much luck. By the way, my favorite plays of the entire whole weekend are Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, by the way. If you want to play the Sunday, Monday, that's how you're going to make a lot of money. Okay? For Doc, Willie, and Swami, we wish you much luck. We'll see you next week. Be well and
take care.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.